Hi all, we're back once again, just like the Renegade Master, for those of you 90s fans. Joel is with us on the radio as well today. Yes, it's back. It's the Punter's Guide this week. Haydock and Ascot. We're looking at Punchestown action as well. We've got Joel with us, as you can see. And, of course, Frankie Foss, who looks like he's at an airport terminal. But no, he's live at Ascot Races. Good morning, Frankie.
Good morning. I don't know, obviously some people are listening, but if you're viewing, I am. I'm perched up. Hopefully nobody kicks me out. I seem to be all right so far. But yeah, it's Friday morning ahead of 2 good days racing here.
So he's at Ascot, and Joel, you're going to be emceeing at Haydock tomorrow.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. I'm just testing the mic now. 1, 2, 1, 2. Is this on? Testing. Yeah. I'm doing that tomorrow. Doing the in-house TV, and surprisingly, it might be good to soft tomorrow. It's unbelievable. I thought it was going to chuck it down all week. I'm at Haydock tomorrow. Frankie's at Ascot, and I presume you're sitting on the couch mat with KFC.
Yeah, KFC. Other takeaways are available, and I might have some of them as well. Yeah, the issue we've got here, you mentioned the ground, it's interesting. It's field size. We haven't got a lot of runners. It shouldn't take us long to go through today's action, Saturday's action, because there isn't a lot of runners, which is a little bit of a concern, isn't it, John?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, both meetings are. You look at Sunday in Ireland, and you get all these top-class horses racing against each other. It's just easy to miss. We haven't got enough decent horses, or you just want to miss them. And if you're into the short shots and there's something you like, you can double them up. But as far as a big spectacle, I think we're looking elsewhere at big handicaps and stuff until we get to Festival and DRF. It's I can pick out a load of shorties this weekend, but you're still only getting probably 2-1 for a 5-timer. But we'll find you winners. We were all on Nap last weekend, all three of us. That came in. And I'm 4 out of 4 on Nap so far, so it's downhill from here.
Yeah, can't get any better. That's for sure. Yeah, we're all on Springboard Bay last week, so we've got a bit of form to uphold. And Frankie, you put up by Birico Lord, so you are red hot right now.
Yeah, no, to be fair, Joel, you've got to give Joel credit. 4 naps in a row. I think that is every week since we've started. Joel has definitely started the year stronger out of all of us. But Cheltenham was good. We had the first time we've all fancied the same horse, and we thought that was an absolute curse, but it came in. And then, a good Saturday for Joel and a good Sunday for me. So we're in all right form. There probably will be a few short prices and favourites put up this weekend, I'd imagine, because of the field sizes. There's not loads of opportunity to take the fab on with a good each way price. So we might be slightly more boring this week, or we'll find out, but hopefully some more winners.
Yeah, maybe the bumpers at Ascot and Huntingdon could be Joel's best, but we'll find out shortly. Just to recap, obviously you can like and subscribe at this show, and then we'll notify you whenever a new one is available. So we've got a Road to Cheltenham series, of course, that started last Monday. And if you're on Spotify now, we're on Spotify now, I should say, so you can listen and take us with you wherever you go. Right, let's get stuck into it then. We're going to look at 8 races over the weekend, starting at Haydock. We'll start with the 150. Willie Mullins won't be a regular visitor to Merseyside. He's got Gaillou Demenil in here, though, who's down to 2 mile 5. This will feel like a sprint for him, Joel.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it, really, with all the good racing in Ireland this weekend. And I don't know if the relationship's still going on with Paddy Mullins and Bryony Frost, but Bryony didn't come in for the race for Brave Man's Game, so it's not like he's just popped over to see his missus, if they are still together. I presume they are. I've given the Skeltons a bit of a battering in the last few weeks, but I think I'm on the Skelton train this week. A lot of them need a run, and I'd go for Grey Dawn in this race. It's had the run. That extra form with Stay Away Faye just emptied 3 out, and a lot of Skelton's horses have needed the run from that. We talked about it on the road to Cheltenham from Monday. Stay Away Faye, I thought, well, what's going on with this? And just stayed on, and the Grey Dawning just emptied, just cut out. I think for the run, it'd be great. And I'm not having these Irish coming over here every week, taking our pots when you've got all that good racing and prize money over in Ireland. So unless he just fancies a little bit of Newton Willow's fresh air, Paddy Mullins. I've never met him before, so I might be fangirling over him. You know what I mean? I don't think I've ever fangirled after a technical amateur jockey before, but I'll be doing that. But I don't think Willie will be making the trip, will he?
I doubt it, because I guess he'll be at Punchestown. We'll talk about that later as well. I'm going to leave Apple away a squeak. I mean, Gaillou Demenil down in trip. Willie say not a regular visitor. Grey Dawn. I was slightly worried about the Skeleton Sources. You have to improve them for a run, but they're not quite hit the straps as yet. And I thought in receipt of loads of weight, she's a Grade 1 winner. She might be the way to play in this. She gets over a stone £18 off Guy Dominic. That's a lot of weight. So I'm with Apple away. Joel is with Grey Dawning. I take it Frankie would probably go for Guy Dominic and throw it all into the mix.
No one with Joel, Grey Dawning as well. I could give Gardner a lot of stick, and I think I can get away with it because I was his biggest fan last year, and I backed him for the festival. I was pretty lucky because there was a faller, and also had a few quid each way on for the national. So I have been his supporter, but 2 mile 5 is surely not his game. He is a big, strong, slow boat, and if something has any sort of turn of foot, could easily get him beat. He's actually never won a chase under 3 miles. He's a proper stayer, and that's his bag. So I can't have him winning the 2 mile 5, even if it's not the strongest field. Grey Dawning's won 2 hurdle races over 2 mile 5 and has that good form behind Stay Away Faye, who's the Bartlett winner and a very, very good horse. Comes back and trips slightly, I think has a great chance and has that extra fitness and weight on the favourite. So, yeah, Grey Dawning for me as well.
Okay, 2 for Grey Dawning then. Let's move on to the Stayers Handicap. It'll formerly the fixed brush, of course, over 3 miles, 16 go here. I'm not sure this is as competitive as a renewal we usually get. We'll start with you again, Joel, because you'll be at Haydock. The 220, a big handicap. What are you going for?
Well, Crambo is the obvious one, and it looks very obvious after 2:28. You look at it and go, it was a good thing. Just looking at that Aintree form, the form is brilliant with Irish Point and is it Springwell Bay that we put up last weekend? You wear it well. It was hampered by Fowler when came 7th. Put that right the next time out. Aintree, I really like that one. But the one I texted earlier on in the week, the other magic carrots out. I would never, ever, ever have looked at this horse unless it was the trainer, Christian Williams. Lord Snooty was 33-1 earlier on in the week, into 25, 16, all the way down. And I had a look this morning at, 9:30 now, and it's 8-1. At the last one in Ireland, didn't it, as well? So I'd look out for that one purely on the money. It's the only money horse, and a horse I really like is a punter's favourite, isn't he? If you're getting enhanced places, Gal Road for the twisties, Sam and Nige. Look out for Lord Snooty, but I think half an hour after this, you look back, watch the race, and go, "Oh, Crambo was a good thing, wasn't it?"
Well, I was going to go last, but I did touch on it. I don't think it is the most competitive on that. And I think I don't like backing favourites in these big field handicaps, but I think he is so obvious. I think he's going to take plenty of beating. He's up 6 for that Aintree win. He won with his head in his chest, really, didn't he? He's got loads going from the owners. Come out today, said how much he likes him, and he's had a little bit for the Stayers Hurdle. So if he stays hurdle bound, he picks these up and carries them home, and I think he is the most likely winner. I do like Dubrovnik Carry as a horse, but he's disappointed us on a couple of occasions. A better effort at Cheltenham last time. He could build on that. Harry Frysyard in better form as well, so he could go well at an each way price. But I think why look beyond the obvious? So I don't like putting up favourites in handicaps, but Crambo I think looks a good thing. What do you make of it, Frankie?
We're reading off the same notes again, gents. I mean, the same as what both of you have said. I think Crambo is a really, really strong favourite and a fair enough price. Obviously, it's a big field handicap, so you're going to get a better price about Fav, but I wouldn't put anyone off backing the favourite. And if you're trying to connect the dots with Joel's shout for Lord Snooty, he did win a race at Warwick last season before coming second to a horse called Trelawn, who is, if you follow the trajectory of that horse, he's gone on to be half decent. Now, Lord Snooty hasn't, but that does mean his handicap mark stayed nice and low off a mark of 123. And he has had a couple of excuses the last twice. He was hampered on his second last start and didn't jump the second last too well over in Galway. When, I don't know, maybe they were going over there to have a crack. I know Christian did make the trip over to Galway that day. So he's had a couple of excuses. He's got to be better than 123, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's good enough to beat Crambo.
Yeah, all aboard the Crambo train then at 220. Right, this is interesting. Well, it's amazing at the biggest field, we've all gone for the same horse. At the smaller fields, we may differ. The Betfair chase then, the big one. Brave Man's Game had a run. Protectorat trying to retain his title, of course. The Skelton's looking for back-to-back wins in this one. Roll Guy, Haydock specialist. And the Grand National winner that Joel absolutely adores in Corrick Rambler all go head-to-head. Come on then, Joel. Betfair Chase, you'll be there tomorrow. You'll be in the parade ring. You'll be announcing the winner into the winner's enclosure. Who's it going to be?
I'm just devastated that when the market opened up, Brave Man's Game was 8-1 because I believe that thing called social media. that Brave Man's Game wasn't going. I believe this morning is odds on. So I think it's the best horse in the race. Well, I know it's the best horse in the race, but I couldn't touch it. Odds on at even money. I've missed that. Everybody's talking about the Sam Twiston-Davies thing. Not Sam Twiston-Davies, Daryl Jacob this week. And again, it's all social media. Do you know what? Just stay off it. Stay off it unless you're looking for something important. Can we discuss the Daryl Jacob thing here? And I'd like to get your thoughts on it as people who love the game. Is Daryl taking the ride just because Harry's going for the championship? Therefore, was it 5 decent rides at Ascot? Is there something else that has gone on? Do you not fancy it? What's your thoughts on this, boys?
Well,
he
has said that he wants the better rides at Ascot. He's got 4 or 5 excellent chances. He's not out of the championship. He's looking at that. And he totally dismissed it. He said it's all nonsense, Paul Nicholls, and he'd be on board again for the King George. But again, the back of my mind, there is that nagging now. This is a Gold Cup second. This will be a horse in the biggest race of the year, the Cheltenham Gold Cup, that he'd be riding. And you think you'd want to ride all the way through. You know, I know he knows him well, but to ride him all the way through, to find out any quirks that may come up, or I think it's important to be with the horse throughout. So yeah, I agree. I think it is a strange one. Yes, it's the only horse that he's sent to Haydock. Yes, he's got 5 at Ascot, so it probably does make sense. But I just think with the arguably the best horse in the yard in terms of staying chasers when it comes to the Gold Cup, I think it's really interesting. What do you make of it, Frankie?
I don't know. I think everyone's making too much of an issue of it. I think he's got 5 good rides at Ascot, all for big owners. You've got to keep the owners happy. You've got to give the horses the best chance. Harry's also going for the championship. Brave Man's Game will run again before the Gold Cup, and he's rode in plenty of times. I think it's nonsense, personally. I think it makes sense for him to come to Ascot. The only thing Cobden will be furious about is Shishkin coming and having a crack again, because Pic Dory was probably going to be a highlight of his Ascot card, and Shishkin's come to spoil the party. So that will be frustrating for Harry, which I'm sure we'll speak about soon. But I don't make too much of it, to be honest.
The other thing just to mention as well is that Sco Royale runs at Ascot, the Daryl Jacob always rides, and he's given up that to go and ride Brave Man's Game.
Yeah, but it is about 42.
Yeah, you say fair enough on that one, wouldn't you, from Daryl's perspective anyway.
Anyway, what wins, Joel?
Selection. And look, do you know what? Again, I missed the price on Brave Man's Game. Correct, Rambo. I'll never win a Grand National, that lad. I just got, I'm tipping up a horse here that has 1 win in 3 years, and that is Royal Pagaille, Haydock specialist. A bit of rain, a bit more rain would help overnight. If it's ever going to win a Grade 1, Saturday is the day. Otherwise, when Venetia went to Rich Ritchie and said, "Look, I've got a good one now," and he said, "If you ever get a good one, send it to me." So it's got to win a Grade 1, and this is the only time. Protector, I've never got right, but will be tuned up like a lot of the Skelton horses haven't been. Brave Man Game will not be knocked around because, let's be honest, King George is a target along with Gold Cup, and Correct Ramblers there just to have a nice day out for Dr. Fox and Lucinda Russell.
Dr. Fox. I agree. At the price, I have a couple of quid on Royal Pagaille. Yes, the ground is drying, but it's been a really strong wind we've had in these parts. I think it's going to be a little bit tacky. It'll take some getting, that's for sure, at Haydock this weekend. And that'll suit Royal Pagaille. We know he loves it at the track. He was second to Apolutado a couple of years ago. Yes, he's got a bit to find, but these are his conditions. I just think at the prices, like you say, the price has gone on Brave Man's Game. He's already been beaten this year. Protectorat, the Skeltons have even been open about how much they've needed a run, surprisingly, first time. So at about 7, 8 to 1, I think he's worth a couple of quid in a 4-runner race. So we're both with Royal Pagaille. What do you do, Frankie?
Fab. Let's hope he drifts. Everyone keep chatting about everything else. If you get even money about Brave Man's Game, I think that's well worth a bet. King George winner, Gold Cup second, best English horse we've got over 3 miles. He's also got match fitness, which 2 of the others don't. Nicholls has said he's in flying form at home. I can't see why everyone's doubting him, to be honest, just because he's been beaten first time out when maybe he wasn't quite fit and he was beaten by a fitter horse. It's best horse in the race. He's fit. He's won it before. He should go and win again. If I was to try and tempt any other bet, probably have a couple of quid on Korak, but Brave Man's Game wins for me.
There we are then. Brave Man's Game, keep it simple, Frankie says. Right, let's move on to Ascot then, where Frankie is. Talk about the 1965 chases. You were just mentioned earlier, Harry Cobden will be fuming that he thought this would be a penalty kick for Pic Dory, but Shishkin turns up en route to possibly the King George as well. Frankie, we'll start with you. It's a match, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I don't have to say this because if you listen to any racing show or podcast across the weekend, everyone will say the same thing. If Shishkin is on his A game, he wins. Whether you want to bet against him being on his A game is up to you. I am favourable that, I know it's really short, but I do think he will turn up. He's got cheek pieces on as well to keep him that little bit more focused because he's been described as a bit of a sod. He's very, very talented. He beat Pic D'Orhy by 16 lengths. He's also won at Ascot beating a Nergamine, who obviously is a seriously, seriously good horse. Shishkin is a class above these for me. He's odds on, but I think he turns up. Nicky's in flying form as well. And the cheap piece, as I said, is that little bit of a bonus to sharpen him. So Shishkin goes and wins.
Yeah, they've both got a penalty as well, Joel. So Shishkin, as long as he doesn't jump to the left like he did against Nergaman and he's straight as a die like he was in this over track and trip in February, he is going to take some beating, isn't he?
I can't get him right, and I can't back it at 4-6. You know, you look over this weekend, and if you're desperate for a 4-6 shot, you know, you need to change your business. But you could get a better 4-6 shot this weekend over yellow cards in the Liverpool and Man City game. That's where I go with this. Look, 16 lengths, as Frankie said before, for Pic D'Orhy beaten by Shishkin. I think it's 2.5 miles on quickish ground. Will be great for Pic D'Orhy. We'll go from the front. I think Manila Drama will just sit off that. You know, likes to lead, but I think we'll just sit off there. And I can see Shishkin either winning this by after track or going left, going right. Nico looking down, and I can see the horse either pulling up or winning by 47 lengths. I think if you said to me who trained Shishkin, I'd put him in the Gary Moore stable and let him be the boyfriend of Goshen because I just can't get him right. Super talented, but not for me. So Pic D'Orhy to win him and then a Drama to finish second. More of a fun bet than be 4-6 lump on job. But if it wins, I think I've covered every single base there, haven't I?
Pretty much, yeah, nicely done. But you've also given me a nice link into the next race, which is the Coral Hill. You mentioned Goshen, and he sets the market up here, doesn't he? I mean, he's not really put it in. He's well beaten the Cesarewitch. He's another horse they say you just cannot get right. I'm still reeling from that fall in the Triumph Hurdle. And the Moor Yard just aren't hitting the board with the regularity like they normally do, Frankie. Goshen makes the market for me in this one. It's a case of which one you side with.
Yeah, I agree. And I think I've said this before. We talk about Goshen being so inconsistent and wild and all the rest of it. But if you stick him over hurdles left-handed, he's more straightforward than we give him credit for, in my opinion. He won this race last year. He was then second to Paisley Park at Kempton over 3 miles, which was a good performance because Paisley put in a very good performance to win that. He was beat over fences, but he's useless over fences. He was last at Fontwell, but he's useless going left-handed. And then he was second at Sundown to Nappers Hill with Theatre Glory behind. So if you look exclusively at him over hurdles and around 2.5 miles, he's not the most wildly inconsistent horse. He's just very, very bad at anything else. The question for me is, can Theatre Glory find a length on Goshen from that performance when Nappers Hill won the race? Goshen was in second and Theatre Glory was in third. And I think she maybe can because of the stable form you mentioned. Henderson horses are flying. The Moors team just isn't. And I think that gap can be bridged purely based on trainer form and you get a slightly better price about Theatre Glory. So I'm not discrediting Goshen. This is his bag, but yard form tips me in favour of Theatre Glory.
Yeah, it would just me too. I mean, Blue King Daru entered the equation as well. I thought it was really impressive. In a weak race at Cheltenham, but drifted like a barge there, but still managed to win. But I think Theatre Glory, still in receipt of that £9, could find the length and maybe the way that I would go. What about you, Joel?
I think I'm going to have a go at Goshen, and hello to Jamie Moore as well, who's a regular viewer of this, and also listens back on the podcast and Spotify as well every single week. He's out injured again. I would list the injuries that he's got, but there's pages of them, and another broken nose. So you know, Gary Moore's at 7%, and I love Gary Moore. I'd have a go at Goshen because Jamie Moore's taken every ride over jumps. Niall Houlihan comes in, and you know sometimes you look at a jock and you go, "Oh, can't see that." You know, some jocks go for girls, Not some jocks go for girls. That's really wrong. Some horses go for inexperienced riders. Some go for girls. Some go for amateurs. It just depends. Now on the flat, he was ridden all the time by Hector Crouch, and I think on his debut, I think he was ridden by Liam Canary or whatever. But since then, he's just been ridden by Jamie Moore, and Jamie rides him a lot, obviously at home, and loves the horse and likes the mental one. Niall Houlihan's a top jock as well, and last season he put in some stellar performances when Jamie was off, and I'm just trusting that maybe Goshen may go for a different jock. You know what I mean? That's what I'm going for. But the form of the Henderson team, Theatre Glory, to finish second, because I don't think he'll find the length. I'm going Goshen and put everything in the basket of Niall Houlihan this weekend.
Okay, then, siding with him. Let's start at 3:15 because hopefully all 8 go. It's another handicap. We've got 3 places in this. It's only the second race, I think, on TV that we have got each way betting for 3 places. Well, Boot Hill makes the market. He's 3 from 3 over track and trip. And they're talking about the Tingle Creek Frankie. So he'll need to win this well to head there and meet John Bon.
Better and better, isn't he? Boot Hill is a very good horse. And they've placed him nicely, I think, so far. Now, this is probably as you mentioned, his last crack in a handicap off the top weight before going on to better things. He's probably going to end up, I reckon, being one of those annoying in-between horses where he carries top weight in handicaps but maybe isn't quite good enough for top level. My selection in this, Orcan Risque, came a length off Boot Hill at Kempton. Arguably went too early that day and was off level weights. Now gets about £11 or so from Boot Hill. So you do have to go a little bit of way back to find that form because Orcan Risque has been running over hurdles. But if he can pick up where he left off over fences, just because of the disparity in the weights against Boot Hill, I think he's got a chance in this.
Orcan Risque then for Frankie. Sansegal's got form with Boot Hill as well. He's got £7 turn off for 6 lengths. Joel, is that good enough or does Boot Hill win?
No, I'm going for Orcan Risque as well. 12s into 5s. I wasn't too impressed with the ride last time out. I think Frankie said it more politically correct than I did. And all I put down here was back form. The money's come for it. And, Chris Gordon, what sort of form is he in? Oh, he's had 1 winner in the last 2 weeks. He's on 7%, but the same as Gary Moore. No, I put that down. Boot Hill's going to be there in it. It's going to be there or thereabouts, but Orcan Risque for me. I was hoping for a double figure price, but it's into 5-1 now.
Yeah, I'm afraid it is. Right, 2 big races on over the weekend. Saturday got the Morgiana hurdle, Willie Mullins and Gordon. Had all the entries between them. Kind of saddle 2 apiece. I'll start with you this time, Joel. State Man, penalty kick, is it?
Yeah, I think it's a distance bet as well. Anything you can get over 10, 12 lengths, that's it. I mean, there was not a lot of point going through this race, trying to find a forecast or whatever. State Man wins, but by how far? I think that's what I'm looking for. Like what Constitution Hill did 2 years ago at Cheltenham. I'm looking for a big win. Good horse, great horse, brilliant horse, win, hard held by 20 lengths, please.
Yeah, when we're all on Constitution Hill 10 lengths and Nico was looking around and made it 9.5. Frankie, are you a State Man for the distance bet?
I am, and I was with Constitution Hill for 10 lengths as well. Bringing back painful memories there, Matt. Yeah, I said he'll go on when he's better than the field by a long way. It's a question of how far, as Joel said.
Okay, and we'll stick with you this time, Frankie, for the John Durkin on Sunday, which sees the Gold Cup favourite Galloping Deschamps back in action. Need to turn it around Punchestown form with Fast or Slow, who won at the festival, second at the festival last year in that incredible race, that Corrick Rambler in there as well. Can he get close to him? Does Galloping Deschamps win on seasonal return?
I think so. I don't think Fast or Slow's the horse to beat him because he's probably better at 3 miles, and they're both better at 3 miles. But if you're dropping them both back in trip, I think Galloping probably fares better and does have a better record fresh than Fast or Slow. Although Fast or Slow has been campaigned at handicaps previously, so they probably never wanted him winning on reappearance. I think Galloping Deschamps should go and win, and if anything, his jumping will just see him through because he's so efficient.
I will.
All right. You have a
Enjoy.
What's going on here?
Joel just addressed
Joel.
the nation.
Yeah, although we can't hear him. No, we still can't hear you, Joel.
Okay, he's doing 2 jobs at once, isn't it? It's incredible effort doing 2 jobs at once.
Hey, look at me.
We can't hear you, Joel. Oh, there you go. You're back.
got him now. We've got him now. He's DJing by day, tipping by night. Where were we? Galloping des Champs.
I just heard Frankie say, I think he wins. I think he wins. Do we not think this is another demolition job? Fast or slow, obviously will be second. Is it fast or slow? Fast or slow, yeah. Was it fast or slow? Slow or fast? Whatever it's called. That'll be second. But is it not a double distance race with the other one over the weekend? Are we not trying to print some money here? Because it just wins for me and then goes on, wins Gold Cup. Is it not really simple?
So distance balance. Play up all the winnings on Galloping des Champs.
A double distance.
I don't know.
Throw Brave
Fair,
Man's
I don't
game
know.
in there as well, and Shishkin. No, you can't double a distance, but there you go. Brave Man. Well, you won't have Brave Man's game, but Brave Man's game, Shishkin, Galloping des Champs, and State Man, the most boring fourfold you'll ever back.
Oh, there'll be loads.
Oh,
of them
you'll
this
love it then.
weekend. All to win by 5 lengths or more.
And Shishkin to go and win the King George.
There we are. We're talking multiples already. And there'll be loads of anti-post doubles available. Don't you not worry. Head over to our website. Loads of anti-post doubles on things like that to win this weekend and go on to win the festival and the King George and all those big races. But it's nap time. It's nap time. Right, we're eagerly waiting what Joel's going to do. Hopefully it's a bumper. He's bumped into bumpity bump again. So we'll start with Frankie's best bet of the weekend first, please.
Glad you have, because I feel like Joel might have napped this, but he's smiling away, so he's probably got some random horse to back. The first horse we talked about, Grey Dawning. Like I said, I love the favourite, but I can't have him over 2 mile 5. He's slow. So Grey Dawning for the Scoutons in the 150 at Haydock.
So Frankie's tipping one at Haydock. Joel, nap of the day weekend?
I'm staying at Haydock as well, and it's one that's not on ITV. It's in the 115. I'm going for the Skelton's horse, Lac de Constance. It's had a run, so that ticks the box of the Skelton. It's had a wind up. It's off 136. I believe it's well handicapped. It finished. What was that? Oh, and the Crambo race. There was Kitty's Light and this Lac de Constance in the race. You might have seen it. And there were 2 horses that were just having a little go out the back. He got dropped £2 for that. The target may be the Lanzarote hurdle. The money hasn't come for it yet, but it was in the tracker. It came up. This might be the day. I'm saying that. If not, it'll be the Lanzarote hurdle. Lac de Constance around 8 or 10 to 1, 115 at Haydock on Saturday.
Okay, I'm staying at Haydock as well. I'm going with Crambo. I know it's boring. I don't like doing it, but I think he's a class act. I think he's much better than his marker. Chris Charles, the owner, already thinks he could be grade 1 bound for the Stayers Hurdle, and that'd be good enough to me. Off 11 stone 10 in the Stayers Hurdle, which isn't, for me, a deeper renewal than we normally get at this contest. So there we are, 3 tips, all at Haydock, all in different races. So you know what they do the weekend? Ascot's for Frankie. Haydock is for Joel. Hopefully, we've put in the direction of a few winners. Don't forget, join us Monday. We'll review all the big races: Shishkin, Brave Man's Game, State Man, Galloping des Champs. It'll be the fourfold. Everyone will be doing this weekend. They are big races to review in terms of the Champion Hurdle and the Gold Cup at Cheltenham. So join us Monday for the road to Cheltenham. But whatever you're backing this week, and the very best of luck. And as always, please gamble responsibly.